Shit. There we go. All right, everybody. This is Hip Hop and History. And this is your host, Mercenary the Don. I'm here with Vauclan. I hope I pronounced that straight. He's from Chicago, Illinois, and living in Cali. So it's just like, I've been knowing him for a few years, and I just, for the next 30 days, what I'm doing is I'm doing a 30-minute segment with each person that I talk to about this, but it's about their love of hip hop and why they love hip hop. So, what is it, sir, that you love about hip hop that makes you just like, I don't know, it's like you just stay with it? Like I get irritated with it, and I know you probably do too, but what is it about hip hop that actually moved you to stay with the stay along, like to actually keep going with hip hop? What? I know that was a long ass way to ask that question. My bad. I kept calling.
But hip hop, like hip hop and well, okay, let me just say this. Hip hop and rap culture is the only culture that, first of all, does not have any standards. So like nobody can say like like so nobody can say like this person can rap and this person can't, because it's all subjective, and that makes it a true art form. Like, for example, like you walk into a museum and you wouldn't like one of the paintings, but somebody likes it,
right?
So like as we've been like as us b-boys have been saying, it is the truest form of artistic expression ever created. You cannot, like, hip hop is inside you. You cannot you can't buy it, can't teach it, you can't anything. Like, if you want to be weird,
you definitely can't teach it.
You cannot. Like, you can't teach how you cannot teach.
You can't teach a feeling, basically.
You can't teach hip hop, nor can you teach rap. You can teach somebody how to rhyme,
right?
Kind of, maybe. You can teach English. You could teach, no, not English. Like, you could teach a language. You could teach literature, but you cannot teach somebody how to, first, okay, you can't teach anyone to perform, and you can't teach anybody to express themselves artistically.
Right.
They have to find that within themselves.
That's very true. That's very true, because you can't teach anybody to actually go ahead and speak their mind. Like, it's more so you can't teach anybody to speak their mind the way that they really want to speak their mind. When it comes down to writing lyrics and whatnot, which is why, I guess like rap is the way it is now. Because you could just say whatever the fuck, as long as it sounds good, everybody happy. But
that's how it is. Like, corporate, that's how it's painted to us. But if you get those artists in a room by themselves, even they would say like, man, like, it's an art form to this. Like, it is. It has to be an art form.
I mean, see, personally, I look at it as an art form. Like, which is why I'm so critical. Like, right. It's like I'm even critical of my own music, because it's like, okay, no, this is some bullshit. I only made this because of such, right?
You really are.
Like, and I've gotten the situations where it was like, I made excuses for why I made a song. Like, it was just like, okay, I made this song because of such. And then when I listen to it, it's like, yeah, it was still like, to me, it's trash, and a lot of people love it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like because I'm looking at it like it's garbage. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but like as far as like okay, see, I know you're more heavy into the the poetic end of things. So it's like me, I've never really been into like I guess they're called like poetry circles and shit. Like you know how kind of like you know with the hip like with the rappers is like ciphers and shit, and then like the poets have like
It's the same thing.
I mean it's the same thing, but it's
No,
a little
like
different.
literally, like honestly, it's the same. It's just one side, like it's just like one side wears this, one side wears that. One side more like mainly like orientates their thoughts, other side writes them down. So
Right.
it's the same. Um like poets, like we call freestyles like just random thoughts. And then like our written is when we think about uh a subject or an idea, and we stick strictly to that idea.
Right. And I think y'all got a little bit less pressure when it comes down to like, you know, the writing aspect as far as like okay, having a vocabulary and all that type of shit because I know it's a lot of poets that have vocabularies, don't get me wrong, but for the most part,
Oh
it's
my
like
god, right?
all of y'all got vocab, but it's like at the same time, it's like the way we have to go about it with the type of rappers that I deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like we really gotta go in. Like it's like we gotta pop up with some words like here and there that nobody thinks about. Like you know what I'm saying? Like okay,
Exactly.
it's a
Exactly.
it's a normal word that nobody uses on a regular basis. Like and we gotta throw that motherfucker out there here. Like we throw
Right.
one of them out there. Like you know, but
Right. I think like every time like there's a cipher, like it always goes back to the beginning of this culture. Like with this culture, like you could not be dumb and get on the mic. You could not. You that was and like if you get and like if people in the room like they know your intelligence level, and you got on the mic and they were like, no, 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 get him off. You
right.
can't speak on the mic. He can, not you ever. No. So
Okay, so um
like with poetry is like it's more of like just getting your emotions out.
right.
So, and you
Him
can't really
as a rapper, you're not supposed to really show any emotions for real. At least not from
but you are like that's getting
I
you
mean,
know
like you know, like from I'm coming from the standpoint of like the age group that we're in. You know what I
oh
mean?
that's true. Yeah, it is more of
You
you
can't show
can't
that. You can't show that side, basically.
yeah, you can't be supposed soft.
Right? You can't be a bitch, basically.
Yeah, you can't be yeah,
So it's like
you can't.
my thing is, it's like okay, like I used to write a lot of poetry. I used to write my lyrics. I used to do a lot of that shit, but I really never got into the like. I don't know what like okay, like open mics for rappers and open mics for poets were like always different venues. You would
Mhm.
have like a venue here and a venue there where they kind of mixed it, but like what's like what like who do you look at as far as like being a poet? Like as far as me being a rapper, like I look at Tupac and I look at Common and I look at like a few other rappers as far as it goes, like when I'm really talking about something that I care about, like you know what I mean? Like I pay attention to certain rappers.
Mhm.
So like your influences to start writing poetry more so than lyrics, like because we're on the same page, but we're on like two different pages because I'm a lyricist and you're like more of a poet. Like you see what I'm saying? Like I'm a rapper and you're a poet.
Right.
It's the same thing, but two different things all at the same time.
It's the. I mean, I look at it as me personally. I look well probably because I look at it as like a bigger picture. Like I see um like I see Sonia Sanchez and like Rhapsody as the same.
Mm-hmm.
They they grew up different. Like one can just orientate like off a dime. The other one like they probably can't orientate as well. That's all it is. Like me personally,
Mm-hmm.
I am so envious of people who can rap and freestyle because I grew up with the speech impediment and I wanted to say a whole gang of shit, but it did not like it got when it got to me, my whole mind went blank and like I couldn't get the words out.
Okay. Okay, so wait. Like I want to ask, like, okay, what was the speech impediment? Did you have like a lisp or did you have a stutter or
Stutter.
okay. Okay, because I was just thinking like I'm not gonna get into that right now. But I was having this thought to myself earlier about something that like it was a conversation I was having like and then I was thinking about it later like wait a minute, but like I said, I'm not going to that conversation right now because I don't want to piss people off. Not that I normally care, but it's just right now. No, I don't feel like it. So, um, it's like I personally like I like to hear poets recite, right? But it's a certain type of recital that I like. Like how you have like the ones that like repeat themselves like 4 times in a row. It's like, yeah, so I walk through the window, right? And I'll be sitting there like, okay, you walk through the window 4 times, whatever. What the fuck? Get to the point, right? So it's like, like I get irritated. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like so, for me, it's like, okay, yeah. When you go to a recital, I guess that's like I don't know if that's like the difference between rap and like poetry as far as it is when you're like like you presenting your work or whatever, but like at the point in time where that was happening a lot, like I was kind of young. I was like 15, 16. And I was going to like open mics and stuff. And
Those that write like that, they're corny.
yeah, I was just sitting there like, what the
They're corny. I'm sorry. They really are. And I'd be
I mean,
like,
it was corny as fuck to me, but I mean, I didn't want to. I really just didn't want to, like, I didn't want to offend you if you were that type of writer, but it was just like, okay, yeah, kind of like
no,
hurts my
yeah.
nerve.
I mean, you read my work. I've never. I
I
don't.
mean, I read your work, but I don't know if like, okay, like, because I know sometimes I write my stuff completely different than the way that I rap it. So it's
No,
like
I
you
mean,
would look at like it'll be set up in a certain bar structure if you read it, but I rap it completely different.
oh, I mean, I'm not a performer. Like, so I whatever I write, that's that's how it's going to sound on the mic. Like
Okay.
that's and like I mean the ones I actually wrote knowing that I'm going to later perform it. Like I did write it different, but I never wrote anything that I never wrote any like refrains or anything like that because it doesn't get it. Well, for me, it was always I was trying to get a message across. So like refrains don't get a message unless the refrain is really powerful. Then it's like yeah, but them one like that do that. I'm like I'd be sitting there like there's so many ways you could have went about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's corny. It's corny.
I mean, I listen to a lot of like, I listen to a lot of music regardless. Like I listen to country, rap, rock and roll, all kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, I hear all kind of stuff. People don't realize like it's a little bit of a difference between like, typical country music and bluegrass. And,
yes.
It's a difference.
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah. Like for example,
when people say rap ain't nothing but poetry to a beat, I'm like, nah, that's a lie.
That's like saying music ain't nothing but poetry to a beat, because technically that's what it is. But
I guess
that's dumb. That's dumb to say. Like it's dumb.
It's like rap comes with a whole different element behind it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a whole culture behind rap. Like that a lot of people obviously now don't realize. And it's like it's fairly new, which is the problem, where it's like, people don't realize that you figure most music that everybody listens to, rock and roll, all of that type of stuff, we coming up real quick to 100 years on rock and roll.
Yep.
We already came into jazz like 10 years ago. It was 100 years for that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's only been 45 for hip hop, and and hip hop has grown into its own. First of all, hip hop has grown into its own genre, its own culture, and now we need our own building where we can do our own shit.
It's like it's not even that. It's like, I don't want to sound like a hater. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna just put it to you this way. Like hip hop has grown into a tree.
Yes.
So
just think, I mean, not a tree, but like, yeah.
Like you got this big ass trunk, right? That's the tree. That's hip hop itself. Mm-hmm. And then you have branches. So now you have hardcore hip, you got hardcore rap, you got gangster rap, you got horrorcore, you have mumble rap, you have all kind of shit that's just everywhere now, which makes hip hop so much more difficult to fuck around and deal with.
Yep, that's true. Which
it makes hip hop
like we had this conversation before, like why don't they put all the mumble rappers in their own category and the drill music in their own category, and because it makes no sense to compare Chief Keef to Supernat or Quavo to
not to put you on the spot, but I gotta ask this question, right? I've been wanting to ask somebody this. That's from the Shy, right? Like, okay, what the fuck would make you want to be a rapper living in Chicago? Because I mean, the whole drill scene turned everything over on his head.
Personally, I have never listened to drill music, and I don't even know.
I have. I listen to everything, like I said, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay,
it has never found it's never found me. My dad was listening to drill music just to be funny, and I was like, what is this? He was like, Chief Keef, nigga. I was like, what the
Oh, like, listen. Like for me, it was like, okay, my idea of Chicago for the longest was like Twist, the Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, Speed, Not Mobster, shit like that, right? that was my idea of music in Chicago, and then came Chief Keef. Nobody knew that he was actually dissing somebody with the whole "I'm smoking Tuka." Mind you, I'm from Detroit, so it was different to us. You feel me? We just like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying. Then you hear like young M.A. talking about she smoking Tuka, such and such. We didn't know the difference. We just thought it was. I guess she thought that it was like a term for weed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit. It was like, but
I couldn't tell you. And none of my family like
well, you know,
hey,
that's South side Chicago.
yeah, we
Then it
been
was like you had like Shooter Shells. Like I actually kind of like Shooter Shells. Like I liked his music. He wasn't necessarily like the most impressive rapper, but I liked his songs.
all the I mean, like, okay, like when I was in high school, like the cats I heard coming out of Chicago that like Chicago was actually talking about were Kanye, Do or Die, Twisted, and then Lupe. And that was
Oh,
and
Lupe
like
was that man. Shit, Lupe, Common.
and that was it. Like Chief Keef came out way later, and like no, but like nobody was actually talking about him. Like
I was actually shocked when I heard that Kanye was from Chicago.
I
Like I
heard,
was
I mean,
kind of lost.
I felt it in my soul. I was like, he from somewhere. He ain't from New York.
But it was like he was so different that it was like, okay, we kind of like him. But my only problem with Kanye was like all them damn samples. So it's like, okay, if you fuck around and you do a song and you get a beat from him, now you gotta clear all these damn samples.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you better make a bunch of motherfucking money off this shit.
I think because like in like with Chicago families, like we play a lot of R&B, a lot of R&B and a lot of funk music and house music also. So like
What happened in Detroit? This Motown, baby.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you know,
That's what we do. Like that's all we know. That's what we used to know.
exactly. So like, you know, that's like when I first heard his music, I was like, yeah, that's Chicago all day. Or that's at least the Midwest. That's the Midwest. That's
Hold on, I gotta poke my hat into the screen real quick. You know, it's the I am him, he is I. I'll explain that later, but that's my homeboy's that's his shirt line and shit. So I'll be rocking it. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, like let me think. Like Crucial Conflict, we liked Hey, but we didn't really like too much of the other shit that they did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Scummy, I like Scummy. But I didn't really fuck with Crucial Conflict like that.
I've never heard any of their it never found. Yeah.
Man, you heard some like the hit song that they had, at least in Detroit, when it dropped, it was like smoking on Hey. It was like everybody was smoking weed, I guess, at that point in time. So it was the shit, right?
Oh.
And my mama wasn't even smoking weed, but she liked the song. It was just like, you know, but like Crucial Conflict, they was around for a hot second, but our main people that like was out the shy was, like I said, Twisted, Do or Die, and that was it. For real, I was the one that was listening to Speed Not Mobsters and
I didn't even know
and all that type of shit. I was the weird one. Like I was the weird.
I didn't even know the Brat was. I didn't know the Brat was from Chicago. Like I had no idea.
Yeah, like the Brat actually said it on her first album that she was from Chicago, but nobody paid attention to it. If you
I
listen
mean,
to Functified,
yeah, yeah. Now, I mean, like going like now, like yeah, but like back then, and all like and also
you wasn't paying attention because it was just like, okay, well, shit, she down there in Atlanta. Like that's what people was looking at because I was thinking she was from Atlanta until I heard like the album and I heard like the Functified. And at the point in time when Functified came out, I was like, what, 7 or 8, somewhere around in there. Like, no. I take that back. I was like 10.
oh, you are. Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like 10 because I was born in '84, and I think Functified came out in '94 or '95 or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was young,
I was
and
9,
I
and
didn't even realize that she was the one that was writing crisscross verses for "It's the Bomb." You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So
I had no idea. Um, and also like I was listening to a lot of gospel music because my parents were in church, so like
mine too.
so like but like all of my friends they were in church like none of this found me at all, and so like um I didn't start listening to anything but gospel till 98, and that's when like um
That was like Yolanda Adams and Commission and all of them when they like really started like making noise for real.
yeah, Kurt Franklin was
Right,
played
Kurt
really
Franklin.
heavily. Uh,
Oh,
Fred Hammond was playing really. Hezekiah Walker, they were playing really,
yeah.
really, really. Um, uh,
Really, Marvin Sapp started bubbling right around then, but he didn't pop until he made Never Would Have Made It, which was like around
oh yeah, which was like
that
5
was
years
like
ago.
2007, so it was like some years. But I mean, I
Like
grew up
I listened to Milton Bronson and the Thompson Singers like heavy.
right.
They're from Chicago.
If I'm not mistaken, like, see, the Midwest is like,
It's
uh,
different. It's a kaleidoscope.
we
It's
got everything in the Midwest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what they consider the Midwest. So it's like what we consider the Midwest for real is like, okay, Cleveland, Detroit,
Chicago,
Chicago, Gary, Indianapolis, like St.
Kansas
Louis.
City, St. Louis. Yeah,
Like
like
we
in
different.
a circle.
That's just what it
Yeah.
is. We're different compared to everybody else. We always had this big mixing pot of artists.
Yep.
So you had like Motown, and then you had like with Motown came like artists that were from here but ended up dealing with like
Global.
Philadelphia and
Oh yeah, yeah. It'll definitely
and
record.
you gotta think about it, like Philadelphia sound was Aretha Franklin, who was from Detroit. Well, she was really from down south. Everybody like really was from down south anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
like you had Aretha Franklin, the Temptations, at least two of them, like because David Ruffin and Eddie Kendricks were from Alabama, but the rest of the group was from here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we try to explain to people is like, Detroit. I'm gonna tell you what's fucked up about Detroit. We fuck ourselves up. Same ways, like not really the same way that Chicago does, but it's in that same vein. You feel me? Like it's like nobody want to fuck with us because we too fucking ignorant. Like you know what I'm saying? So don't nobody want to fuck with us. It's like when you making music and shit, and you really doing something with yourself. Everybody want to fuck you up in the end because, like, shit, Chicago, y'all motherfuckers go out there, y'all go stupid. Y'all start talking about niggas dead homies and all kind of shit. Detroit, it's just I came in your neighborhood on some bullshit, and next thing you know, you dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fight. I see. I see. All right, bet. Shit, dear people, rappers, singers, artists, period. Stop doing stupid stuff. Because these major labels will not sign you if you're doing stupid stuff. And there you have it. I just gave it to you. There's the art of it. Act like you got some damn sense, even if you don't. Because if you no, I take that back. The bad part is I know most of the people that I've dealt with, even the young ones, have sense. So don't put yourself in a situation if you're trying to oh, excuse me. If you're trying to do something with yourself, surround yourself with people that are trying to do things with themselves, especially if you're doing music, because they'll pay attention. I know it sounds like it probably sounds very cliche for me to say all of that, but I'm just being honest with you. I've been there. I deal with music because I like to deal with music. I don't deal with music because it's an obligation or anything like that. I was I'm one of those people that you hear about that's like, okay, yeah, you heard about this rapper was a good rapper, and this rapper was a good rapper, and this rapper was one of the best rappers. I was one of those, and I mean, now I just make music because I love to do it. So in real life, what y'all need to do is just pay attention to what's going on around you if you really want to do it. I'm older than probably most of the people that's probably gonna find this this stream, but I mean, I got a few guests that's coming on, and they're a little bit older than me, and they done
Okay.
major artists.
Okay. Yeah. The TV had went out, and I had to fix it.
Oh no,
So
you good? You good?
okay. So I think like I'm gonna say this in my conclusion. I think nowadays to for hip hop to grow healthy yeah wait for hip hop to have a healthy growth, I believe we need to embrace the new kids because it's for the simple fact of there's room.
Yeah.
Um, Hip hop isn't in rock and roll's house anymore. Like,
Well, hip hop. Listen. Like what you just said was in the vein of like where hip hop started. It's like okay, we embraced rock and roll and disco and soul music and all of that. So it's like what it really comes down to is it's like, okay, at some point, I keep looking at it this way. Like, okay, I'm trying to get it out. But um like, look at James Brown. James Brown was 72. This man performed until he fucking died damn near. You know what I'm saying? And as a rapper, I should be able to do the same thing without um prejudice. Like
Exactly.
I can be like nobody ain't nobody saying shit about Jay-Z being fucking 50.
They were.
They were for a minute, but it was like, okay, but it's
When
Jay-Z.
he was like 44,
No,
they were like, why is he making albums? And it's like,
but they
what?
wasn't paying attention to the fact that in 94, Nas himself said, I woke up early in my born day. I'm 20, it's a blessing. So that's 94. You're 20. 2004, you're 30. 2014, you're 40. You pushing 50. You know what I'm saying? But what does that have to do with the fact that you
Anything.
actually spit? If you can still spit, why not? Go for it. Dig me? It's like you don't see nobody slowing Common down. Cause Common always got like he gonna talk about whatever he talk about. David Banner was old when he first hit the scene. David Banner was older than most of these motherfuckers.
Right. I mean, he got a full gray beard now.
Right. That's what I'm
And
saying. Like,
that tripped me. I was like, wait, how old is he?
it's like David Banner was already older than a lot of people. Rick Ross was already like 30 when he dropped.
I think Rick Ross was 30 million when he dropped.
Shit.
And he was old as shit.
Hold on. It's dark and hell is hot. DMX was like 28 then. That was 98. So I don't put an H to hip hop. It's music, bro.
It
People
should be.
that shit.
People be yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like he's still dropping albums. Like, yeah, what?
Like, why not?
I'm like, he's still smart. What are you talking about? Like, Jay-Z should be celebrated. We're coming out with great albums. Like 444 was a dope album.
Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers dropped in 93.
Mm-hmm.
They about to perform that here March 21st with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. I don't know how this is about to happen, but I'm about to I promise you, I will cough up that $60 to get a ticket for that. But Wu-Tang is about to perform their very first album together. Only thing that's missing is ODB. God rest his soul, man. Man, that was my man. I loved him. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they about to go perform that. On the 21st of March.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, well, the ticket started at $60. Hell yeah, I'm ready to go run and go see that one. Cause how many times in life do you see a rap group go perform with a orchestra? Like, when do you see that? Like, okay, you see bands, like, okay, like the Roots and a few other groups or whatever, but
there's there's a couple examples. LL, he was the first one to do it, and then Jay with the Roots. That was amazing. Just the optics itself, that was amazing to see. It's just he's like
I'm
see,
saying live.
that's what I'm saying. Like it was just to see it on even on TV.
Like you had unplugged. It's like, okay, it's a difference between the band and the orchestra.
Oh yeah, of course. But
That's what I'm saying. Like Wu-Tang is doing this shit with an orchestra.
that's it's crazy. Like
That's gonna be dope as fuck.
yeah,
I gotta go see that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like hip hop is the hip hop is an art form because number one, there's no there is no standards, and two, it's subjective. Like it's its expression is subjective. You can't judge it.
I mean, at this point, I think hip hop is just so far gone that it's just hip hop is up in the air anyway. Like
the culture
hip hop first started, when hip hop first started,
yeah, the culture does not. The art form, yes, art form is everywhere.
The art form, the culture, it's like nobody actually like. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why everything is messed up. Okay, the art form itself is like so lost, like as far as the artists, that the culture has no real existence. So it's like, okay, when like me being a 80s baby and growing up and paying attention to stuff like, okay, like Crush Groove and Body Rock and all of these movies and all of this type of shit that was going on, Body Rock, Disorderlies, and like, when you know what I'm saying, like the hip hop movies was really going and doing something, breaking.
Right. Oh, breaking.
That's classic. All day. That's classic. That's classic.
It is a terrible movie in terms of cinematic.
It's terrible. acting and everything was fucking horrible, but it was like, it was a movie that you can't do nothing but respect.
To see it is like, don't make this again, but I'm so glad to see this. And
it's like at the point in time that came out, and then with the budget that they probably had, you know what I'm saying? Then you had before breaking and all of that, you had Wild Style. And I just finally this year saw a Wild Style. And when I say this year, I mean like 2020. Like I finally found that shit, and it popped up one day on YouTube, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm about to watch this shit, right? So I sat there and watched it.
And then you have Michael Jackson like embrace hip hop in bad. Like that's crazy.
I mean, shit, you got to think about it. Michael Jackson got the moonwalk from somebody that was from what, Soul Train? If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember his name.
He's an LA breaker. He's an LA breaker.
Yeah, he was an LA breaker. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they was out there breaking like a mother, killing that shit, pop locking like a motherfucker.
And Mike was living in Encino.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, see, a lot of people
he used to pass by. He would like show me that, and the guy showed him. His name was I forgot. Like, I believe Jeffrey Tout, not Jeffrey Tout, something like that. And he took the style and he made it his own. But he always said like he didn't invent it. He always said that he gave credit to the LA Breakers.
What it comes down to is, like, you know, when you pay attention to most of Michael Jackson and a lot of other dancers, like performers, I should say, after like 86, 87, if they couldn't dance, you always had like somebody dancing in the background for real. You didn't really have that until the 80s when it was like videos.
That's true.
Like you had people that would be dancing around in the background and shit, just like to keep the show going. But for it to be like as heavy as it was, like it is like now, you didn't have that until like the 80s, which was like Michael Jackson, Prince, because Prince, but see, Michael Jackson could dance. Prince couldn't really dance. Like, you know what I'm saying? That man had all the skills in the world, but he wasn't really a dancer.
I've seen videos of him dancing. He could dance.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't really like he wasn't the.
He didn't feature that in his repertoire. But
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I was going. That's what I was going with that. But I mean, that's just like Chris Brown. Chris Brown ain't necessarily like the best singer.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, he'll fuck around and like shit. I promise you go to his concert and you be like, damn, this the shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he performs. There's a difference between a performer and an artist.
That's true.
So,
I was working a Taylor Swift concert. She put on a show. I was like, God damn.
I worked the Taylor Swift concert. It was her, Kenny Chesney, and this is weird. Like, I was sitting there like, shit, damn, this song kind of dope, right?
Right.
And they was all on some country music shit. And I'm sitting up there with my ghetto ass, like, damn, this shit kind of dope. So I mean, like I said, I listen to everything anyway, so it don't matter. But it was just like, well, shit. Now I see why the fuck all these people come running up to the fucking stadium. Like, nigga, Ford Field was packed. And Ford Field ain't shit little. It was like, but that motherfucker was packed.
Like, Rose Bowl was packed. Yeah, Rose Bowl was packed. 100,000.
When Jay-Z and Beyonce came with the I forgot what the tour was called, but that was like a year or two ago. When they came, there was a bunch of motherfuckers was like, I really don't even like Jay-Z and them such blah blah blah. But shit, you ain't even gotta like them to buy tickets. It's like, damn. Like, shit, you showing up just so you can fuck around and come in here and find somebody to go home with your ass. That's what it is. But yeah, like shit, Jay-Z and Beyonce went to Ford Field, and I worked that. And there was people that was actually paying for the suites. You paying for suites to watch a Jay-Z and Beyonce concert instead of fuck around and having your ass right down there by the stage. What the fuck? Because you really don't fuck around and like Jay-Z and Beyonce. That's what it really is. You was just there because, like, shit, I could show up because
clout chasing. That's that.
Yeah, it's like, shit, I'm here, and I guarantee you, the motherfuckers was all over Instagram taking selfies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was cute as fuck at the motherfucking at the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert. Kenny Chesney concert, man. When I say that shit was so cold, listen, that was the most comfortable concert that I did. And it was funny because it was the most comfortable concert that I did because it was like, okay, you had a decent black audience, but for the most part, it was like, shit, wasn't nobody paying my ass no attention. Except for like the couple of white girls that walked past and just like hurried up and grabbed me by the crotch and shit. But other than it was like, other than that, that was the most comfortable concert I worked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I worked Taylor Swift, Jay-Z, Beyonce. I worked there was a couple other concerts I worked, but man, the coolest concert I worked was motherfucking Kenny Chesney. Surprisingly. And I was sitting there like, okay, what the hell is going on here? Right? Like, I was lost. Like, wait, like I ain't never heard these songs. I ain't never heard none of this. And then after I worked that concert, I started looking up Kenny Chesney because I had never heard of him before then.
Right.
So I started looking him up and I was listening to his music. And I was like, okay, shit, he actually fucking dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like shit. He dope as fuck for real. Cause he had this one song. I can't remember what the song was, but he was dope. But I kind of left it alone because I was just like, well, shit. Don't nobody I know what the like if I'm trying to find this song, I don't know nobody that actually knows this song.
Right. And that's the, with us, being B-boys and we grounded in this particular culture, like we're able to love, or at least try, or give everything a chance, because in hip hop, everything is in hip hop. Every single, all of music is in it.
Yeah, every little bit of everything. I mean, we would have never had Bubba Sparks, or we would have never had nappy roots if it wasn't no country music roots in the music.
Right, and we wouldn't have
we would have never had
Everlast and
Planets.
Yep.
It was another group back around at the same time. It was Diggable Planets and
Arrested Development.
There you go. Yes, yeah. Like we had those artists, but they was kind of country. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had that. So we had like country music wrapped up in our rap shit, even in the early 90s.
Arrested Development. Shout out to Cleveland, by the way.
Absolutely. But it's like we would never, like, the hip hop world was never set up to be as
streamlined it is like it is now.
Pretty much. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, now out of nowhere, it's like, okay, Eminem was just this white boy rapper.
Right.
And it's like, what the hell? Like, no. Eminem is one of the greatest lyricists of all time.
All time. Like, stop.
And I'm not even like a giant Eminem fan, but he's one of the greatest lyricists of all time when it comes down to rap.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very visceral.
Why is it so much hate against Eminem now? All of a sudden, it's because he's white. That's what it is. And black people, like, no, you can't be racist. You can't be racist if you black because of such and such. No, you can still be racist.
That's because these new cats born in like 94, 95. You're like, I don't be rocking with Eminem like that. Ain't no one say you. Like, what? Ain't no one said anything.
Hold on. If you were born in like, and I'm not gonna say 94 because my nephew is like an avid. He was always a Tupac and Big fan. Born in 94. But if you were born, let's say, you got to realize how old we are right now, bro. If you were born in like 2000,
you're 20.
99, 90, well, let me take this back. 98, 99, 2000, anywhere around in there. What you were listening to by 2005 and 2006 or 2007 is when you were really paying attention to music.
Mm-hmm.
So you were listening to like Lean With It, Rock With It, Lean. Or you were listening to like Throw It Up, motherfucker, throw it up. Like, you know
Keep
what
it
I'm saying?
going.
You was listening to like extra wild type music. So by the time you hear something Me Against the World, like off of Me Against like the actual song Me Against the World, or so many tears, shed so many tears, or any songs like that, yeah, you look at it different.
Mm-hmm.
That's old. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, think about it. When I was like 15, I thought being 25 was old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like Tupac dying at 25, and I was 12, and I was thinking 25 was old. Until I turned 25, I didn't realize that I really wasn't old. Like
Right.
it was
Right.
like I was thinking like,
Right. And that's
so
why
it's like,
Jay-Z said, like, yeah. And that's why Jay-Z said, like, we can't keep putting Biggie and Pac as 1A and 1B or the greatest rappers ever. Like, the culture has to evolve. It has to move on. Like,
I
you
mean,
know.
my favorite rapper ever is Tupac, but to me at this point, period, the greatest rapper in my eyes, and that's what people have to understand. It's like it's all about what you think for real. It's like as far as like that GOAT conversation goes.
Hmm.
But my favorite rapper is Pharoah Monch of all time. Like I give it to Pharoah Monch all day. Like that is the coldest lyricist I've ever heard in my life. Tupac, the music that he made, I can fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like shit. You matching something that I done been through or whatever. I might hear a song here and there, but yeah, my favorite rapper is Tupac, but the greatest rapper of all time is Pharoah Monch to me.
Right. Mine is Lupe. And
So
yeah, like, yeah.
no, Pharoah Monch, that he's that nigga. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I love Twister. I love all of them. Like Lupe Code. Lupe Code, don't get me wrong. Eminem
Mhm.
Code. Um shit. Twister. When he feel like it, he cold.
Yes. When he actually
People don't know
wants to
that.
rap about something I do, man, most of the time it's
Like I
just
said,
yeah.
when Twister really want to go off, Twister be spitting some shit. He be spitting some cool. That nigga be having bars, but he just rap them so fucking fast that a lot of niggas don't catch it. Which is what I
Yeah.
think was Twister fucking that was his downfall, because even though he slowed it down after a while, like when he did like Celebrity with Kanye West and shit,
Mhm.
it was more so nobody could, like, he was still rapping too fast for some of these stupid motherfuckers. It was it's like, just pay attention to the music.
Right?
Pay attention to him. Pay attention to what he's saying. He actually said some sweet stuff. He
First of
cold.
all, to rap
If
that
you
fast.
look, wait. I will take it all the way back to 1997 and you listen to Adrenaline Rush. Come on now. Twister been cold.
Bingo.
That's why I be asking all kind of questions about these new rappers from Chicago, because like
Where
at
did it
that
come?
point in time when I was listening to like rappers from out there, I was more so involved in the okay, Twister was spitting, right?
Right.
But Twister was always doing something. But it was like that's what made it that much harder for me to learn a Tone Thug song. Cause
Right.
Twister had bars, man. Sorry.
Ooh,
Twister had bars.
bars
They just went
all
back
over the
so
place.
fast that a lot of people didn't realize what he was saying.
And then to rap that fast and on beat, like that's crazy.
Well, you know, my whole thing is like, listen, I like I catch hell for this one. I catch hell for this, but I've always said that I like Do or Die better than Bone Thugs. But it's like the reason I like Do or Die better than Bone Thugs is because Do or Die just be rapping.
Right. They
And then
be
I've had situations where like you listening to Busy Bone and you don't know what the fuck he's saying. You just be lost. Like, what happened? Like he be rapping, but his voice like throws off anything that you should understand. Twister, even though it might go by fast as hell, I always understood everything that Twister said. Do or die. Even
yeah,
if
I
they
had to
rap,
like rewind it.
like most of the time, you already know Do or Die don't even rap fast like that. But when they want to, they do it. But for the most part, it's just like I just like their music. Then you
Right.
have Psychodrama.
Mm-hmm.
Psychodrama was dope. And it was just like, okay, I could understand everything that they were saying. It was just like, okay, well, I'm not arguing with that, arguing with the fact that Bone Thugs was the shit. Because they was the shit. I mean, I know they was the shit. I was there. Like I said, I was like, damn, they're there, I guess. Like I said, I was in Detroit
Mm-hmm.
in 95, 92, or 3 or 4, whenever the fuck they popped up. I think it was 94. But
And for them to be singers and to be one of the greatest hip hop groups of all time, that shows you how talented they are. Because they were signed as singers, as a
yeah,
harmonizing group.
yeah. It's like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love Bone Thugs. Love them. I would
They should
never,
come out with
I would
they
never
should come
take
out
it, I would never
with
take anything away from them.
they should
But
come out with the like a rap sing like a like some songs they rap and some songs they just sing. They should or double album.
right.
They should like honestly like why not? Tyrese did it. It can't be any worse than Black Tie.
See, I don't even know if you remember when Bone Thugs was going at it with 3 6 Mafia.
I
But it's
did.
like when
Shit
Bone
was
was going back
super
and forth with 3 6 Mafia, there was some of the hardest motherfucking songs that either group did. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love 3 6 Mafia. But those were some of the hardest songs that they ever did. Like, it's like, god damn. But how do you fuck around and create this beef off of some dumb shit? Like, come on now. That's like the whole like I'm going back to something. This is going back to the Bone Thugs and Twister situation. It's 5 of y'all. It's 5 of y'all. Y'all going after one man. Then they got mad because like Do or Die jumped into the situation and said something about it. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, like, what nobody even looking like? Y'all ain't even got the same style of rap.
Right.
And that's what Crazy Bone finally said. Like, okay, no, we didn't even have the same style of rap or nothing like that. Like, why was we beefing? That's why Crazy Bone went ahead and did a song with Twister. And to me personally, Crazy Bone was the coldest nigga out of motherfucking Bone Thug.
He is.
He was the coldest one. Like Crazy Bone was the coldest one out of Bone Thugs. And after him, the only other one that was like on my radar for real was Flesh and Bone. And a lot of people forgot about him. He had a whole album back in like 96, 97. And a lot of y'all forgot about that. So yeah, I was just kind of, I don't know, man. Like, it's like when I be talking hip hop, I got to come across all of these beefs and shit, right? Which irritates the fuck out of me because it's like, okay, all of y'all stupid. Like, but at the same time, it's like, okay, let me think about it. Like, okay, like the Tupac and Big beef, I don't even touch that one. I really do not touch the Tupac and Big beef because that one went so far left that I can't even fuck with it. But like now, like you gone from Chicago right now. But I'll be paying attention to all the shit that's going on in the South, right? These niggas stupid, bro. These niggas stupid.
Go.
They man. All right, bro. All right, y'all. So shout out to my man's Vauclan, Vauclan. Whatever. This is hip hop history, and I appreciate him sticking with me this long. He's actually 37 minutes over what I was looking for, and I appreciate him. You have a good night, sir. Get your kids hugs and kisses for me, homie.
I will.
I'm over here throwing up my C's and shit because you know I'm ignorant. But I mean, shit. Do your thing, boy.
All right.
Get your girl the kids, lay your ass down, get a nap in or something, nigga. I'm out of here.
Peace.
Peace. All right, y'all. My bad. I forgot I was still alive, but shit. All right, so I'm just this is how this works. I'm paying more attention to if people really want to hear about hip hop because I ain't about to do this motherfucking channel and y'all be looking at me like I'm fucking stupid. But I'm about to end this stream in particular. And shout out to my man's shout out to my man's fuck. I'm gonna cut this part out the video because I'm sleepy and I can't remember no name right now because I'm sleepy as shit. That's horrible.